viewers, and welcome to the first Wendy Wednesday from our new studio. I am so excited. I know you guys have seen this for the last few days, but this is my first time, and I am so pumped. And look who is here today in the studio making a special appearance. Kida, today's guest. Kida is accompanied by Kate. Hello, Kate.
Hello.
Kida is such a good girl. This girl is so smart, and she knows that there's something for her in the bag. So we're going to give it to her first. This is my thank you to Kida for joining us today. And then we will talk all things Kida when we get down to business. Can you sit, good girl? What do you say?
You put your hand up like this.
Okay.
Sit.
So Kida is so smart. She's one of our pet therapy dogs here. She's in training, which I'm sure you have seen her around the halls. And she knows lots of commands. So Kate says it's like this.
This.
Okay,
sit.
can you sit? Oh, is that a smart girl? Can you believe this? You're so good. There you go.
Wow.
Oh.
You were
Now,
gonna
don't tell
love
Marley.
that.
Don't tell Marley. I'll have to bring one for Marley next time, I promise. Marley, if you can hear, don't you worry. I will get you one too. So let's turn Kida around. Kida, you want to sit around so that we don't see your backside? We'll see your front, your beautiful face.
Drop it.
Oh, does she know drop it?
She does.
See.
Drop it.
Oh, okay.
I don't know. Good girl. Good drop it. Okay, sit. Sit. Good girl. Here you go.
See, Kate is a professional. She knows exactly what to do.
Good girl.
Okay, so Kida is going to enjoy that treat. We'll get started, but Allison, feel free to zoom in on Kida whenever you would like, because she is the star of our show. Okay, so let us get started. I'm so excited to have her here. Today is Wednesday. It's February 24th. It is almost the end of the month. I cannot believe it. It is gorgeous outside. The sun is out. It's shining. It was like 45 degrees this morning. I think it's going to get close to 50.
Yes.
So I really hope that you guys put on your jacket and get outside and breathe in that fresh air. I mean, it's a good day to do it. So enjoy it. Let's talk about our menus. For lunch, we are serving chicken marsala with herb pasta and grilled vegetables with mandarin orange for dessert. And for dinner, we're serving cream of spinach soup with a Western omelet, hash browns, and strawberry applesauce for dessert. We have two residents who are celebrating birthdays today. They are Jonas K. and Sereno P. We have a few staff members as well who are celebrating birthdays. Edna from nursing, Freddie from housekeeping, Malia from the Weinberg Center, and Miguel from our home care department, and lastly, Mary from food services. So we wish everyone who is celebrating a birthday a good day. And your horoscope, if you are having a birthday today, says, don't endure life, enjoy it. That, in a nutshell, is the challenge you must set yourself this year. And if you can find reasons to smile in even trying situations, the universe will reward you in numerous ways. You'll like yourself and other people more too. So I think that's great advice. You know, I love these horoscopes because they're always so positive and uplifting, and they're a good reminder to look at the glass half full and not half empty, which is just important. So, Kida, did you get tired of that special treat of yours already? I thought that would keep her busy for a very long time. So we'll see. Maybe she'll return to it.
There she goes.
Today is National Tortilla Day, and it's World Bartender Day.
Okay.
So I could say go out and get a drink, but we won't go there.
Yeah.
So we have Kida here today in studio. She is in training, as you'll see on her vest. She's part of our pet therapy program. And Kate, who I'm sure all of our viewers know, one of our drama therapists here at the home. Mm-hmm. So Kate spends time as part of her many tasks with Kida, going to the neighborhoods. So we thought maybe we would just talk with you a little bit, Kate, about
Absolutely.
What you do with the dogs and all that. But maybe what we could start off with first is if you could just tell us, have you been a guest on Good Morning Heber Home before?
A few times. I think this is my third appearance as a guest on
Oh
Good Morning
my.
Heber Home.
Wow. So you're a pro here. Okay. So just top line, if you don't mind, how long you've been here and how you got interested in your line of work.
Okay. So I started here in August of 2016. It'll be 5 years in August that I've been here.
Okay.
So I was an actor by trade, very young in my career, and then I learned, ooh, maybe I should do something that has a stable paycheck. And a very good friend of mine was in the drama therapy program at NYU, and she said, I think you'd really like this program. So I auditioned. They have you audition and interview for the program, and I got in. I went to NYU for 2.5 years, and after I got out, I worked in mental health for a couple of years, actually 5 years. And then I had my son, and I stayed home with him, and I was looking for work, and the previous director here, Mary, and I actually went to grad school together. So I contacted her, and she was hiring here, and that's how I started working at the Keeper Home.
Now, how did working with the dogs get part of your responsibilities, and are you
Leave it. Good girl.
Oh,
Leave
Kida found the plastic bag.
Take this. You can have this.
So tell us about your work with the dogs.
So when I started working here, we had a pet therapy program. Max and Luca were still here at the time, and I was trained to use the dogs.
Okay.
And then Zeus came around, and I used to bring Zeus around a few times a week. I would bring him to multiple different neighborhoods. And the residents loved Zeus because he's so little and fluffy and so pretty.
Yes.
So I would bring Zeus. I think I had him 3 times a week. I had him a bunch of times.
Okay.
And I got to know Zeus really well.
Okay.
So obviously the pet therapy program shifted when the pandemic started. But when we started it up again, I started bringing Zeus around again. And then Kida joined our pet therapy family. So I was trained to bring Kida around. And now I bring her. I have Kida with me 4 times a week. I have her Wednesday morning, Thursday morning, Thursday afternoon, and Friday morning. So she goes all around with me.
So what does she tell us about the experience? What you do when she goes on the neighborhoods, and tell us about how she's learning to work with the residents and the response from the residents to her.
So she was trained. Part of the training program here is the dogs have to get used to the sights and sounds of the home so that they're comfortable and not scared of what they're seeing here. You know, wheelchairs are not something that they would see typically, nursing carts, elevators. So all the dogs have to be trained to be comfortable with all of those different sights and sounds here at the nursing home. Food carts, things like that that may grab their attention. They have to not run towards the food on the food cart. So they're trained. They kind of go around the home. They're elevator trained, and then they're neighborhood trained. So when I started working with Kida, I brought her just around the neighborhoods first to get her used to her surroundings. And she did well. I mean, she's a typical dog. She's curious, she's interested. So she was interested in things, but she, as you saw, she's pretty good with her self-control. You know, she was sitting here, she wasn't barking at you, she wasn't whining. So she's pretty good on the neighborhood. You know, she will go up to residents and take treats out of their hands. She's very gentle. She'll sit down. They're always impressed by how obedient she is. I'll do the commands and she listens like that. You know, she doesn't hesitate. If I say sit, she sits. If I say stay, she'll stay. So she's very well behaved on the neighborhoods and responds really well to positive reinforcement.
So do you think she enjoys going to work?
Oh, wow. I mean, I think she likes being here. I think, you know, she's a friendly dog. She likes attention. I think she appreciates that from the residents. I think she likes it. It's hard to know. I mean, she's friendly. She never barks. She never whines. She's happy to engage with the residents on the neighborhood. So if I were to speak dog and she were to tell me, I think she'd say, I like it here, it's fun.
Well, dogs are so smart. And I don't think dogs get bored. And I think when, the stimulation and the action of meeting different people and being out and about, I have to think that the dogs enjoy that, just like, people don't want to just sit around doing nothing, And what's the response been from the residents? Has she bonded with any residents in particular, or what's the feedback been?
The residents love her. I can't tell you how many times I hear them say, she's such a gorgeous dog. She's so beautiful. And she is. She's a beautiful dog.
Oh, she knows we're talking about her.
And she's got beautiful eyes. And she'll look up at them with the eyes, and they're like, oh, look at her. So they really appreciate her, and they enjoy the touch that they're able to experience with her.
Right.
Because especially right now, where touch is something that isn't readily available, especially to our residents who haven't had the opportunity to see their loved ones, hug their loved ones, experience that type of love through touch. She can provide that experience for them. You know, I have one resident that says, "Tell Mr. Reingold I'm stealing his dog. I'm coming down. She's mine. She can sleep in my bed with me." Because they crave that. We're all human. We crave touch, and we crave unconditional positive regard and love. And that's something that's difficult right now. But she can provide that for the residents, and they really appreciate that from her.
Do you have a dog?
I don't. I want a dog.
Okay.
But everybody has gotten a dog during the pandemic. It's hard to get one right now.
I know. Well, that's a good thing, though, because I know a lot of the shelters have almost emptied out because people are home and they've adopted. So, I mean, you know, if there's one positive thing that's happening currently, I mean, that's certainly, it's great that they're finding
so
homes.
Many people have dogs. There's waiting lists very long if you want
Yeah.
if you want a dog. But I think we're gonna get one. I've broken my husband down. He started looking on the rescue site. Oh, maybe this dog would be good. And we have a 6-year-old that asks for a dog all the time.
Aw.
So, yeah.
Well, I do a lot of volunteer work at my local rescue, so we can talk offline, but if and when you are ready to adopt, I work with a rescue group, and so I can put you in touch with them.
That'd
And
be great.
I know the rescue group is actually bringing back 15 puppies from North Carolina this weekend. So North Carolina is a place where there's a lot of puppies that they're bringing up north. So.
Yeah, dogs are so wonderful, and it's definitely apparent on the faces of the residents. And you know, some residents who may not be as verbal or as expressive, if they have a history with pets and you bring a dog to them, you can see a different side of a resident that, you know, in normal conversation might not be effusive or might not show that type of bright affect, but when you bring a dog, their entire body language shifts. And it brings them back these memories that they experienced if they grew up with dogs or they had a family pet. And, you know, residents who I didn't expect to start talking to me will completely change when they see a dog. And it's beautiful to see because, you know, we only get a snippet of the residents' lives here, but they had such full lives before they came to this environment, and it's nice to see that when you don't necessarily know about it. I've learned about so many family pets that I didn't know existed just by bringing Kida around, and stories and heartwarming stories about how much love they have for their dog. And they transfer that love onto Kida, and it's really nice.
That's terrific. Does she have a schedule where she goes to certain neighborhoods, certain days of the week, or how does that work?
Yeah, so it's shifted a little bit as things go on quarantine because
Right.
we don't go to neighborhoods when they are on quarantine.
Right.
But I have 2 floors that are my responsibility. I have JR4 and RP5. And then I've been bringing her to different floors in the JR building. She responds well on those floors. When you first bring her to a floor, she's got to check everything out. She comes to the floor and she sniffs around, she looks around, and she looks at everything, you know, getting used to the environment.
Right.
But she does really great. You know, she's still learning, but most of the residents are like, wow, she listens to you so well. I'm like, she's trained to do it. So she's a good girl.
Yeah, that's
and
great.
sometimes, you know, you'll be sitting there talking to the residents, and they'll be sharing these stories, and she just sits there. She'll lay down, she'll sit down. If they're in a wheelchair, she'll sit next to them. They'll scratch her ear, rub her back, and she'll let them do that. So, you know, it offers a nice tactile experience as well while they're experiencing those memories.
Yeah, that's great. Our pet therapy program is it's really just such a wonderful part of everyday life here at the home. We're really fortunate to have them, and to have you take her around and make it happen. So
Well, it's
thank
nice
you.
for me too, because like I said, I don't have a dog and I want a dog, so I know I get to see Kida a few times a week, and it's nice for me too. You know,
Yeah.
everybody. And there are people who are like, oh, I don't want to see the dog. And it's funny because you'll see people who are like, wow, she's a big dog.
Yes.
I'm like, we have dogs of all sizes. We have our tiniest little dogs. We have our medium-sized dogs. And then we have Marley, who is a big dog. So we have dogs for all different pet levels here.
Yeah. And Zeus, I've seen Zeus just go plop right on somebody's bed, which is so wonderful also.
So I used to bring Zeus around a lot, and he gets so excited, and he'll jump and he'll jump. But if you pick him up and you put him on somebody's lap or you put him on somebody's bed, he'll get so calm. And he'll just put his little head down, and we'll stroke him and pet him. And he really, he does what the residents are craving. They want that emotional connection where they can just, have a loving connection through touch, and he allows for that. So it's nice to bring Zeus when residents maybe are not able to get out of bed.
Yeah. He is so cute, so fluffy.
He's so fluffy. The Zeus, you always hear, he's so white, he's so clean.
I know.
Yeah, so.
Great. All right. Well, thank you so much for spending some time with us today.
Of course.
Thank you to our special guest, Kida, who we just adore and love hanging out with. So I'm glad she was able to take time out of her busy schedule to join with us today. So thank you to Kida, too. It's funny because dogs are obviously, I think when you think of pet therapy, you think about dogs. Oh, look at my socks, by the way. Can everybody see my socks? I forgot. I didn't even plan this, but my socks have little cats on them. So I'm in the pet theme here. So and as everybody knows, I have 3 cats at home. So we're very thematic here today. But did you know that there are some unusual pets who are considered therapy animals as well?
No, but I want to hear about them. That's exciting.
Ferrets, miniature ponies.
We had one of those here.
I remember.
That was great. The residents loved that. It was amazing to see a horse in the middle of the winter garden.
Yes.
So many people came down for it. It was
When
great.
was that? Was that like 2 years ago, or was it longer?
That was 2018.
28. Oh, Catherine. Okay, 2018.
And his name was Harrison Ford, remember?
Oh, that's right.
And Lionel said,
Welcome, Harrison Ford. Yeah.
That was quite an experience, having a pony
really
in the winter
cool.
garden.
Having you see, dogs, cats inside all the time. It's not often you see a horse inside, so it was pretty cool.
Pot-bellied pigs are also considered. They're very smart pigs, so they're considered therapy pets too.
I didn't know they were therapy pets.
Parrots and boa constrictors. I don't know about a boa constrictor. That doesn't. I don't.
I mean, maybe
that's
if
hard.
I don't know. I can only think about, I would hope they wouldn't constrict too much, but like maybe if people need that proprioceptive stimulation, maybe that would be therapeutic for them, because that's something, I know people with sensory stimulation, sensory processing challenges need that. That's called proprioceptive stimulation. I'm not an OT, so I'm probably butchering this, but where they need that pressure. So I don't know, maybe that's where it comes
So
from.
squeezing the boa constrictor?
Maybe the boa constrictor. I don't know how much they constrict though. So this is totally a guess. Do not do this at home. Do not find a boa constrictor and check it out. But this is my guess.
Okay, well, sounds good to me. It's believable. You're credible. All right. Before we close today's show, we're just going to give you some programming notes like we always do. Do we have Rabbi Noah?
History Month.
Oh, Black History Month.
The concert.
So we have the concert today. Deborah at 1:30? Do we have Deborah at 1:30?
The concert's
We
at
think so.
1:30.
Catherine's, yes. And then the concert's at 2:30, no?
Oh, 2:30.
2:30 the concert. Deborah at 1:30. And if you would like to see a rebroadcast of this show and get to listen to Kate and to see beautiful Kida, that's as usual at 6:30. So thank you, everybody, for tuning in, and enjoy this new studio of ours. And
nice
we
in
hope
here.
to see you next time. Have a great day.
Bye.
And get outside.